Have you ever been playing Jurassic Park and during multi-ball, the game sort of loses track of how many balls are on the playfield, and at the end of the multi-ball, it kind of goes into this pause mode where it thinks the ball's in the game, but it's really not. Maybe multi-ball is still playing with only one ball. General confusion, basically. Obviously, the game has lost track of where the balls are, and just wanted to show you something that might help out in this situation. I think this is a pretty common issue with Jurassic Park and Tales from the Crypt, games that use the same 6-ball ball trough. Anyway, let's take a look. First thing you got to do is take off the apron, which pretty simple. You take off the cards, the free play cards, and there's 2 screws, one here and one here. Just loosen those up and simply pull it off and set it aside. Once you get in here, you'll see the ball trough down in there. There's 6 balls. Now I'm going to go underneath and show you. There's 6 balls in the ball trough. There's micro switches, a micro switch for each one, and the problem being, though, there's a switch down by the coil here, which shoots the ball out into the shooter lane. That switch is the issue. And let me show you what's going on here. Okay, I've got my game in switch test mode. So what we're going to do is let's grab a ball from the trough, and let me show you where the problem lies. It's down in here. It's going to be hard to see with this, but on the right side down in there is a switch against the wall. Let's see if I can shine a little extra light in here. It's difficult to see, but it's there. There's a switch against the wall. What I'll do right now is let me just manually activate it with my finger. You can hear the switch test mode going when I push that switch in. It's, as you can see, it's trough number 7 right is the switch. Okay, so let's see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop this ball in. You see, I dropped that ball and it didn't even detect that. What's happening is that switch down in there is too strong. It's too hard to close that switch, and the ball doesn't have enough weight to close it. So the ball's sitting in there, and it's not activating the switch right now. If I reach my finger in and I push to the right, it activates the switch. I let go, the switch undoes, push to the right again. So basically, if for whatever reason the ball goes in there and the game tries to eject it and it doesn't eject it properly, the ball will fall back in and it won't be activating the switch. So the game has no idea where this ball is. Another thing is the game will try to eject it eventually. And you can see, let's say it detected it there, but there's times where it's trying to eject it. There, it hit the switch. But you can see there's times where the game doesn't even sense it. So it's very important that when the ball's sitting in there resting, that switch be pressed. Okay, and the only reason why the game's ever hitting that switch is at the very beginning when it shoots the ball in, it has enough inertia going this way to hit the switch. Then it sits there resting without hitting the switch. So that's the problem. That switch needs to be replaced or adjusted. I'm just going to replace mine because I don't want to screw around with this. This is a very important switch. Okay, I've taken out the original switch. And this is my replacement switch from Marco, which I bought recently. I think it was about $10. That's the part number 1805118-00. I can tell already that the original switch is not good because it's actually kind of hard to push this to close this switch. You kind of got to give it some decent pressure to close it. But the new one, just an ever slight touch closes that switch. It doesn't fight you at all, and I think that's exactly what we need in the game. So let's get rid of this old switch, put the new switch back in, and go from there. New switch is in and back into switch test mode, so let's grab a ball and let's just drop it in. And as you can see, we hear the sound of the switch being activated. It's working great. Now when it's in there, as it's resting, the switch is closed. That's the key. The switch needs to be closed when the ball is in that part of the trough. You can see I move it away, put it back. It's hitting that switch. There's no doubt about it. That switch is activated. That's what you need. So this should be fixed. I should be good to go now for my multi-ball. Shouldn't be losing balls anymore. One more thing I wanted to mention was this fix should work for Jurassic Park, Last Action Hero, Tales from the Crypt, Tommy, WWF Royal Rumble, and Guns N' Roses. I believe that's all the games that use this same ball, six ball trough from Data East. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy some Jurassic Park now, and I'm not going to have to worry about craziness when it comes to multi-ball. Thanks.